me slowly. Love me, I see no way for me, I do with the word I've seen. Yeah, nobody will be over. So, you pulled out the double strollers. As you want to say hi? Hi. Say hi. And then we got a little Egypt over here. Hi. So yeah, we're on our first walk, postpartum walk. I have to do my labor and delivery story, so I figured why not do it outside. So I think that's what we're gonna do once I get back to the house. We'll sit outside and I'll let baby boy play while I tell you guys about this crazy labor and delivery story, because y'all, I'm shook. Girl. And then say, baby Ezzy. Mommy. Yeah. Me. You gonna say something?
Hey, I was stuck.
Stuck. There, you hold it. You speak to the vlog. You gotta. There you go. Hey YouTube fam. So it's another day. It's like a week later. I ain't gonna lie. But it got very hectic when I tried to do this last time. So I'm gonna just do it now since my 3-year-old is asleep. She's asleep. So now I can do my labor and delivery story. Still am surprised that I had a whole baby. I delivered my own baby in my car. And it's like every time I have I'm having a baby, I just cannot have it the way that I want. I've been wanting to do a water birth since Ezzy, and he came super fast. I couldn't do it. She came in the car, I couldn't do it. So, but anyways, yeah, let's get into this. Where do I even start? Okay, so, all right, so, boom, May 26th, I decided to do the midwives brew, right? Look at my TikTok if you want the recipe. I also have my labor and delivery story on my TikTok. But I have more time on this channel because it's YouTube, so I might have like more details I had to leave out from the TikTok on here. But so it's May 26th. I tried the midwives brew, and I'm talking to my doula, and we're like, oh, you know, not even, it was like an hour after I actually drank it, an hour or two. It was like 4 p.m. May 26th, and my contractions started around 4 p.m. And so I'm like, okay, you getting contractions, it's a good sign. But previously, like for 2 weeks straight, I was having false labor. And so I just wanted to make sure that I was in real labor and not false labor again and give myself false hope. And so I was gonna wait it out anyway because I was going natural again with this baby. And so me and her were she's like, just let me know how close your contractions are, how frequent they are. I was using a contraction app, and the app, like closer to like, it was like probably like 6 or 7, the app was telling me to go to the hospital. But I was like, oh, they're not as intense as I remember them being with my firstborn. I'ma still wait it out. My mom came, thank goodness she did, but she decided to come even though she wasn't supposed to come until the next day, which was Saturday. She decided to come, so she ended up getting here around 6-ish, and so she was able to be here, thank goodness, to watch Ezzy. So since my mom was already here, I was telling her like how I was feeling. I was like, I don't know if it's still false because I remember my contractions being more intense with Ezra. And so I'm still waiting it out. By the time it's like 11 o'clock at night, I decided to go into the hospital. So we got our stuff in the car and everything. And the reason why I decided to go to the hospital is because of how consistent they were. So I told my doula to. My doula ends up meeting us at the hospital. We get to the hospital, get checked in and everything. And they're like tracking my contractions, and they're seeing that I am having like contractions consistently. But then she goes and she does a cervix check and she sees that I'm still only 1.5 centimeters dilated. And she was still only 70% effaced, so she wasn't in position fully yet. So my doula talks to me, and she knew that I did not want to go home because y'all was just so sick of being pregnant. I was so emotional about it because I was getting false labor for 2 weeks straight. Like, so it was like 2 weeks of me having false hope. So I was so emotional, y'all. I did not want to leave the hospital, but I was talking to my doula, I was talking to my midwife, and they were like, yeah, you can either stay here and just like bounce on the ball, wait it out, see if that gets her more into position, or you can just go home and wait it out. So I talked to my doula, and we decided for me to go home because she knows that I wanted to go naturally and I didn't want to feel the need to use Pitocin. So I was like, okay, I'll go home. Had a whole meltdown, cried a little bit while trying to go home, but ended up making the decision to go home. And so we end up walking, we get to the parking garage, and that's when my contractions literally switched. My contractions switched immediately once we got into that parking garage. My contractions hit, and I was like, okay, this feels like I'm transitioning. But we still left because I didn't know if it would still be like a while before I would actually have her. And me trying to go natural, I didn't want to go back to the hospital just to have to wait and possibly want to use medication. So we actually went to CVS before we got home because my doula suggested for my husband to give me melatonin so that I could actually get some rest because she knew that I hadn't been sleeping for like 2 whole weeks. So he gets the melatonin from CVS. While he's in CVS, I was literally like so uncomfortable because my contractions were getting worse and worse by the minute. And so we get home. CVS is right around the corner from my house. So we pull up at the house. We left our bags. Thank goodness we did this. We left all of our bags basically in the car. The only thing we brought back inside was, I think, my purse and like our phones. I think that was it. Thank goodness we did this. And so when we got back into the house, I'm like, okay, my doula suggested for me to take like a warm bath, just to relax so that I could go to sleep tonight. So I end up going upstairs to go take a bath. And my contractions are so intense. Like even running the water, I was breathing through contractions. It was to the point where they were really stopping me in my tracks, basically, like where I had to like stop for a minute, focus and breathe through them instead of just walking through them. And so I'm like, okay, this is different. This seems like I'm transitioning. I ended up taking the bath. Before I even took the bath though, I was running my water and I ended up going pee upstairs and I saw that I was bleeding. And so I contacted my doula and I'm like, hey, is this normal? Like, I'm starting to bleed and it's not just like a little bit, like it's a bit much for like if it was the cervix check. And she was like, yeah, well, that amount seems normal, because she told me to send pictures of like when I wiped and stuff. And she was like, that seems normal, like a normal amount sometimes when you get a cervix check. And so I was like, okay. She was like, just let me know if it gets heavier. So I'm like, okay. So I take a bath, and in the bath the whole time, like I couldn't even enjoy it. I couldn't relax because my contractions were hitting me that bad, where it was just painful to even just sit there in the water like that. And so I get out the bath. I probably took a bath for about 10 minutes, if even that. Get out the bath. I wiped myself again just to see if I was still bleeding, and I was. So I decided to put a Depends diaper that I had on I bought those for postpartum, but I decided to put one of those on because it was too much blood for like a panty liner, but it wasn't like crazy amount where I was concerned of blood. So I go back downstairs. I'm trying to get to my bed, and it literally took me like 15 minutes just to get into bed because I was having contractions back to back at this point. Like they weren't letting me breathe at all. I was just getting contraction. And so my mom sees me struggling and she's like, okay, we might need to go back to the hospital. I don't know. And I'm like, yeah, like I don't know. They're transitioning. And so I was like, I'm just gonna lay down. I took my melatonin pill, went to go lay down. Right when I lay down, it wasn't even like 5 minutes went past. I was laying down on my heating pad and I had this big urge to throw up. So I ran out of the bed, jumped out of bed, ran to the bathroom, threw up. Evan said that I was throwing up for like 5 minutes straight. And yeah, it was terrible because all while I'm throwing up, I'm getting like strong contractions. Like they're getting stronger and stronger by the minute. After I threw up, literally was just standing in the bathroom because I was getting contractions back to the point where I couldn't even get to my room again. Like I couldn't, there was no laying down. I just had to stand up and breathe through them. So I noticed that it was different because at this point, when I'm breathing through these contractions, it's more it went from to like, so I'm breathing harder and everything. And so I'm like, okay, this seems like the real deal. We might need to go back to the hospital. It's not even 2 hours since we already came back from the hospital. It's like 30 minutes, 45 minutes, the most, from us being at the hospital. And so I'm breathing through them. They're getting worse. My mom is hearing me and she's like, I don't know, this kind of sounds like, you might need to go back. And so I call my husband back in, Evan. I call him back in the bathroom so then I can lean on him while I'm trying to like work through the contractions. It was like 3 contractions in and I feel this sudden like pressure down where my body is pushing. And I knew that feeling because I had my first naturally and I was like, oh shit. I yell at Evan, I said, Evan, she's coming. And he's like, oh shit. And my mom gets up, she jumps up and she's like, grab her stuff. And so I go run and grab my robe because all I had was my like nursing bra on and my Depends. That's all I had on. So I at least grabbed my robe so I'm not going into the hospital naked. And like literally after I ran to my room to grab my robe, I come out into the hallway and I literally, my knees buckled. I couldn't hold my weight anymore. I just like fell to the ground. It was so dramatic now that I think about it, but I couldn't walk at that point. Like I just fell to the ground. To this day, I don't even know what happened to me, but I just fell to the ground. And so now I'm on the ground and I'm on my back because at this point I gave up and I was just like, I'm about to have this baby in this house on this floor because at this point I can't even walk. And so they're trying to encourage me to get up. I see Evan and my mom, they're holding my hands and they're trying to like lift me up. They're like, come on, Cheyenne. My mom's like, come on, Cheyenne, no. You need to go to the car, make it to the car at least. And so I'm telling Evan to like call 911 and he's like, no, because they're not going to make it here in time. Like I can get you to the hospital faster than they would be able to come here and then get you to the hospital. So they end up getting me up and I'm like limping to the car, to the garage. I'm like trying my best. And meanwhile, while I'm like moving my way to the garage, I made it to the mudroom and I was like, my body was continuously like trying to get me to push and I'm trying not to. And so we get into the car finally and Evan's like trying to back out and stuff. And my mom even told me that she saw me literally pulling down my Depends as he was like moving out of the garage. So she was coming fast. And so then we're like not even fully down our street, trying to make it to the stop sign. And I'm like, I'm pushing. And so not even 2 blocks away, her head pops out. And I'm telling him like, her head is out. He's on the phone with my doula and my doula hears me in the background and she's like, oh yeah, this is happening. And so her whole body comes out not even 5 minutes into that car ride. Our hospital is only 10 minutes away. And so, yeah, she came very fast. It was funny because Evan the whole time, he was so in denial because like I was telling him that I was pushing her out and he was like, no, you're not. No, you're not. And she was definitely out. And then next thing you know, she popped fully out. And I was holding her in my arms and her umbilical cord was wrapped around her body. So I like unraveled the umbilical cord, but the placenta was still inside me. I didn't deliver the placenta yet. So yeah, she came out in full force. I'm holding her the rest of the car ride. We had like probably like 4 minutes. Evan was going like 85 into 35 and he didn't like, it was like if a cop comes behind us, he's just gonna have to meet us at the hospital. And so we made it to the emergency side of the hospital and all the doctor, it was like so many people. Once Evan went in there and told them what was going on, it was like 20 to 30 doctors and nurses were outside of the emergency doorway, and it, like, you would have thought a crime happened, the news was there. Like, I was shaking and everything, and they were just checking on me and her and make sure we were okay. And yeah, she came nice and healthy. I was good, thank goodness. And I had a really good delivery. No rips, no tears. TMI, but like no rips and no tears. And that was so surprising to me because of how she came. But yeah, great delivery, very fast and very unexpected. We had to get a biohazard company to clean our car. It's still like we have a rental right now because our car is not going to be done until the 21st. They're replacing the seat and everything in our car. And so yeah, she made it to May 27th. That's her birthday. She was 7 pounds 3 ounces when she was born and 20 inches long. And yeah, she's been a great baby. No problems with her. She is just like how Ezra was, very good baby, doesn't really cry at all. And yeah, my milk has come in really good. So I was able to pump 9 ounces in my first week, and that's a lot because she only was drinking like 2 ounces. She's only drinking like 2.5 to 3 ounces right now, and I'm still able to pump really good. So it's been really good, and I'm just glad that we came out of that traumatic situation like with no issues, no health concerns or anything. And our hospital now knows us as the couple that has very quick deliveries, because Ezra, I was pushing him out in the hallway of the hospital, but at least we made it to the hospital with him. But yeah, we have not had a normal birth experience yet. No. And I really wanted to have a water birth or labor in the water, and I couldn't do that with either of my kids because they came so fast. So now we know if we have a third child, we're not going to leave the hospital at all, no matter the circumstance. Just because my body likes to push out babies fast. So, but I'm very happy that we have our baby girl now, and I have been so fulfilled having both of my kids. Ezra has been very good with her. He loves her to death. He's in love with her. Anytime that she like makes a noise, he's like, "Oh, my baby," he runs to her. And so yeah, we're very happy to have our little Egypt. That's her name, Egypt. And yeah, she came into this world very dramatically. So she is a drama queen already. Yeah. So, but yeah, that's my labor and delivery story. It was definitely like a lot that happened once we got to the hospital. But it was basically like them rushing to check me and, do all that stuff and check her and make sure she's okay. Evan like ran in and was like, "Are they okay?" Like they're telling him congratulations. He's like, "Wait, but are they okay though?" But yeah, it was definitely an experience to remember. And I'm so happy that, everything just went well. My recovery has been great. And yeah, I've just been adjusting to having 2 kids now. It's definitely different, but I am fulfilled. I am extremely fulfilled with both of my kids, and it makes me want to have more, but we'll see. We'll see if we have a third child. I don't know. At first I was like, I have a boy and a girl. Like, if we don't have any more, like, I'm fine. But now I'm also thinking, like, if this is my last one, I have to soak in all the newborn and every stage, because if this is my last newborn, I don't know, it's kind of bittersweet, but we'll see. I'm open to having more, and I know my husband is open to having more, so we'll see if we have any more. But I'm just happy to have my son and my daughter now. But yeah, that's our labor and delivery story. I never thought in a million years that I would be the one to have a baby in the car and deliver my baby myself. I was so scared. I was shaking so much, I think because of the adrenaline of it all, of having her in the car, and then also like me just being scared, not even for myself, I was scared for her, like because I was holding her in the car, like my placenta was literally still inside me until I got into the hospital and checked in and everything. And so I just wanted to make sure she was okay. But yeah, it was experience. And we're gonna be able to tell this story for so many years and be able to tell her how she was born. We could tell Ezzy how he was born because his was very like sporadic and crazy too. But her delivery definitely beat his just because she was in the car and how it happened. And I can't believe we were literally at the hospital 2 hours before that happened. She ended up in the car. She ended up being born at about 1:30 a.m. We had to like estimate because she was born in a car, but we said 1:30 a.m. So 1:30 a.m. May 7th, girl. 1:30 a.m. May 27th, 2023 is when my little Egypt was born. Make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe if you are not already. And I'll see you guys in the next video. I don't know when that's gonna be. I don't know what that's gonna be. Probably like a day in my life as a mom of 2 or something. But I can't promise to post like all the time because my life is my family first and then YouTube. But yeah, just make sure that you share this video, subscribe to my channel, and you'll see more from us. I'll most likely do something regarding this new life that I have now with 2 kids, being a mom of 2, a day in my life or something. But yeah, I'll see you guys next video. And thank you guys so much for watching this video and supporting my channel for this long. See you guys. Bye.
I need you in the morning, but I need you now. Yeah, I find what I give you what you need. I know what you